Hey, it's Lucas Michailidis here, and thanks for joining me at Fingerstyle 360. Today I'd like to take a look at a composition of mine entitled The Lucky One. And it's one that I wrote a little while back, and it explores some concepts that I thought may be of interest when it comes to arranging or composing our own music. The tuning for this piece is C, G, D, G, C, D. And usually I will capo on the second fret, but for the sake of this demonstration I thought it'd be simpler just to keep it open. Let me start out playing the opening passage for you. As you can hear, there's a couple of things going on. What may strike your ear initially is the use of a hammer-on. Constant hammer-on on the G string. And that's pretty much achieved with the second finger. When we're working with that, make sure that we do get plenty of attack out of that finger. It's necessary to keep that in kind of a consistent volume so it matches all the other notes. We're also seeing the melodic material being generated from the top two open strings primarily. The third string is part of the melodic material, of course, as well. And we do see a fairly constant note in the bass or at the bottom. The G here. Changes there and there. The use of the hammer-ons here, in my mind, really create a percussive element. It provides us with a bit of momentum and forward motion. Now this hammer-on concept continues in the second verse, which appears later on in the composition. The only main difference is that rather than using this G, we now make the most of the open string G. So the beauty and advantage of that is there's a sense of the piece evolving or developing, and primarily that's done with the use of this open string, this low G, and it's something I think about quite a bit, the use of register and how I can maximize its effectiveness, i.e. I tend not to give away all of my secrets or my tricks too early. And we can see this here because that's all in the higher register. And interestingly, it's not using any of the bottom two strings. To my ear, it doesn't feel as though there's a lack. It sounds interesting enough, but it seems like it sort of explodes a bit when we get to it. Got the addition of these low register notes, something to think about. Now let me just say, when I'm playing this material, it's really important to try to think about string stopping of the open strings. That's something that I find really important if you don't want the open strings to kind of distract the contour and the quality of the melody. So if I was to play that opening passage without string stopping, that would probably sound something like this. That's sort of getting a little bit washed out, a little bit just unclear, lacking in focus. if I incorporate the string stopping technique, I'll do it slowly. So what you'll be noticing there is when I'm wanting to strike a new open string, I'll dampen the previous one using a different finger. So for example, if this one was ringing, top note, I'll dampen it with my ring finger as I play the second string. So a really good exercise is simply doing that, or the other way around. It might take a little bit of practice, but it's definitely worthwhile. The same thing happens here. Because as I say, it just adds focus and quality, a quality to the melodic line, and it takes away any sense of distraction. Now, those two sections were what I regard as verses, and in need of a contrast, I was thinking about another texture, and what came to mind was something that Michael Hedges used to do. Hedges is one of my favourite guitar players, acoustic guitar players, and it's one of the kind of lesser known or lesser explored concepts of his, and that is a doubling of an open string with a fretted note. Something like that. Now, we hear this concept in what I regard as the chorus section. I'll play a bit of that. Okay, so we can hear there, well, hopefully you can hear it, this sort of ringing, not clanging, but two ringing notes together. So let's hear it slowly. There's two C's ringing. Two C's again. Two G's there. So the thing about this concept is that it doesn't only apply to a fretted note and open string. It works equally well when we fret two notes. This is demonstrated in the last passage, example 4. We're doubling that note F. Doubling of a G there. Doubling of a C. Doubling of a G. If you're keen on exploring these concepts, I really encourage you to apply them to your own music, to your own writing, and your own arranging. Thanks for listening. This is Lucas Michailidis signing out. Bye.